This is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as an educational material. No copyright infringement is intended.
Global population refers to the total number of humans on Earth, while demography is the scientific study of human population, including their size, structure, age, sex, etc., and distribution. Demography analyzes the trends in birth rates, death rates, migration and their impacts on population change and societal characteristics, helping to predict future population dynamics and inform planning for resources and services worldwide. Next, defining population. A population is a total number of inhabitants, people, organisms, or even units of data living in a specific geographic area such as city, country, or the entire world. Even it can also refer to the complete set of all possible units from which a sample is drawn for statistically analysis. The size of a population changes over time due to births, deaths, immigration, and key aspects of population. It can refer to the global population.
The core focus of demography revolves around three major indicators: fertility analysis, mortality analysis, and migration patterns. These factors are essential in understanding how population grow, decline, and move, which in turn influences economic development, social planning, and government policies. The three core focus of demography. Number one is fertility analysis. Fertility analysis studies birth rates and factors influencing how many children are born in a population. This helps determine population growth and future demographic trends. And number two is mortality analysis. Mortality analysis examines death rates and life expectancy to understand the health, living conditions, and quality of life within a society. And lastly, the migration patterns. Migration patterns look at the movement of people from one place to another, either within or between countries, and how it affects population size, labor force, and cultural diversity. Together, these three focuses help explain how population increase, decrease, and change over time. Next is the demographic transition model, a framework for understanding change. The demographic transition model is a key concept in demography that explains how countries' population change over time as it develops socially and economically. It shows the relationship between birth rates, death rates, and overall population growth, illustrating how societies move from conditions of high fertility and mortality to low fertility and mortality as they modernize.
The Demographic Transition Model, or DTM, explains how a country's population changes as it develops. It shows the shift from high birth and death rates to low birth and death rates, usually happening in stages connected to social and economic progress. At first, countries have high birth and death rates due to poor healthcare, sanitation, and education. As this improves, death rates drop while birth rates stay high, causing rapid population growth. Later, with better education, employment, and family planning, birth rates also decline. Eventually, both rates become slow, leading to a stable or slowly decreasing population. The DTM helps us understand how development shapes relation patterns. Next is the Stage 1 pre-industrial societies. In this stage, both birth rates and death rates are very high, which keeps the population size fairly stable and low. People have many children because infant deaths are common, and families need more hands to help with farming and labor. However, many people also die early due to poor sanitation, lack of medical care, famine, and diseases. Life during this stage is hard and uncertain, as survival depends heavily on nature and basic resources. There is little to no industrial development, and most people live in rural areas working as farmers. Because of this balance between high births and high deaths, population growth is slow or almost zero.
Stage 2. Early transition. Falling death rate, birth rate remains high, population explosion. In this stage, framework that describe the population changes countries experience as they move from pre-industrial to industrialized economic system. It's based on observed changes in birth and death rates in developed countries. There's have key factors in stage 2. Number 1 is falling death rate. Improvements in healthcare, sanitation, and food supply lead to significant decline in the death rate. Number 2 is birth rate remains high. Cultural norms and limited access to family planning mean birth rates stay high. Number 3 is population explosion. Because death rates are low and birth rates are high, the population grows rapidly. There's have key factors in stage 3. Number 1 is industrialization and urbanization. As countries industrialize, people move from rural areas to cities in search of work. Urban living often changes traditional family structures and values. Number 2 is female education and empowerment. Increased educational and employment opportunities for women lead to changes in family size preference. Educated women tend to marry later, have fewer children, and invest more in each child's education and well-being. Number 3 is access to contraception. Greater availability and acceptance of contraception allow individuals and couples to make informed choices about family size. This leads to lower birth rates and slower population growth.
At the stage, the population growth has already become stable. Both birth rate and death rate are low, which means the number of people being born is almost equal to the number of people dying each year. However, the death rate might slightly increase because many countries in this stage have a larger number of elderly people. This leads us to one of the main characteristics of stage 4, which is aging population here. The proportion of older adults becomes greater than the younger generation as the result of workforce begins to shrink, and there are fewer young people available to replace retires. And because of this, government need to focus more on healthcare, pension systems, and social service for senior citizens. This change also creates new economic challenges. For example, there might be higher demand for medical care, but fewer workers to support an economy through taxes and labor. So, in a post-transitional society is a stage where population growth slow down and focus shift from expansion to sustainability and support for aging populations. This shows that even if population growth is stable, countries still need to adapt the social, economic, and impact of an aging society.
So let's talk about the beyond transitions of global implications. As societies move beyond the demographic transition from high birth and death rates to low stable rates, resource strain. Aging populations increase demand for healthcare, energy, and sustainable food. Urbanization intensifies pressure on housing, water, and land use. Economic impact, shrinking workforce, both in transitional societies, slow economic growth, and innovation. Higher dependency ratios, more retirees per workers, strained publics, finance, and social welfare. Nations may rely on automation and AI to maintain productivity. Global markets shift, emerging economies with younger population gains influence, while older economies face stagnation.
What is demography? Demography is the statistical study of population mainly focusing on human population. It examines the size, structure, and distribution of people within a society and observation how these factors change over the time. It helps us understand population trends that affect the economy, government, and society. Definition: demography is the scientific study that analyzes human population. It focuses on how many people live in certain area, their characteristics, and how this number change. Key components: fertility, births that which new individuals are added to the population. Mortality or deaths, the rating which people die affecting the overall size and age structure. Migration, movement of the people, that relocation of people from the area to the another, influencing population distribution. These three components working together to shape how population grow or decrease over time. So, importance of demography. It helps government plan for healthcare, housing, and education needs. Demography is essential because it helps understand how population change, what those changes mean for society. By studying fertility, mortality, and migration, we can predict future trends, make informed decisions, and build better plans for sustainable development.